Okay, how is this episode not more talked about? Hi, I'm Katie Monk, and we're going to talk to you about Futurama. Or more specifically, the episode Stench and Stenchibility. Okay, that was kinda hard to say. Futurama is a show with a huge reputation on YouTube as a genius cult classic, kinda like Heathers. To most people, it has great characters, great world building, and great humor.
But won't that change history? Oh, a lesson in not changing history from Mr. I'm my own grandpa.
But there was one measly problem. It aired on Sundays on Fox, and nobody watched it. I remember watching a couple episodes as a kid on Adult Swim, but I only really remember the episode with Lucy Liu.
Fry's a sicko pervert, I tell you! Dating a robot, it's an atrocity!
And the one with Layla's parents. When I was older, I think around 13, I did try to get back into the show, but beyond a couple episodes, I didn't see the appeal. You know what people say about needing a high IQ to watch Rick and Morty? I thought that applied way more to Futurama.
It's just gibberish. 10100111010.
But I did try to revisit the show. I really wanted to do a video on Kif Kroker. He was one of the few characters I remember distinctly next to the Robot Devil. But I watched a few episodes and Kif basically became a second thought. In this show, the characters are amazing. Each crew member is funny and unique in their own regard. I do think they should have given more screen time to characters like Hermes.
But I intend to do as little dying as possible.
Sign the paper.
And Amy.
I like having her around because she has the same blood type as me.
And especially Hermes, because it felt like he was barely there half the time. Even the side characters are great, like Femputer, who was voiced by B. Arthur.
That does not fempute!
To be honest, I laughed at least once an episode, which is something I rarely do even in shows that I like.
You do and I'll gut you like a fish.
I haven't watched every episode, and admittedly, I'm watching super out of order, but there was one episode I watched that really intrigued me. Okay, if we're being honest, there was really more than one episode, but we're talking about this episode first. People say the Comedy Central era was a low point. I couldn't disagree more. Yeah, it's not as great as the Fox era.
We have a saying up in Alaska. That's all.
There's a lot of flanderization.
Pardon my language, but I have had it with you ruffling my petticoats.
They forget at times it's the year 3000.
Good book saith a robot shall not lie down with a human, nor do it standing up, nor at any angle in between.
The politics are about as subtle as a Louisville Slugger to both headlights.
If I'm re-elected, I promise to build a really big Dyson fence across the southern border of our solar system.
Yeah, at times I feel like a cleaner version of Family Guy. That didn't mean they couldn't pull out good episodes. There's episodes like the late Philip J. Fry, which legitimately put me into an existential crisis.
The stars are receding. Oh, the vast emptiness.
Everybody talks about that one episode, but there's tons of others. Lethal Inspection, That Darn Cats, Tip of the Zoidberg, Silence of the Clamps, The Prisoner of Penda, Game of Tones, and they should really be talking about this episode. This episode is about John A. Zoidberg, Futurama's resident cinnamon roll.
John Zoidberg.
To give a little background, he's the company doctor, only he doesn't understand human biology.
No, not that mouth.
I only have one.
Really?
It might be kind of cliche, and in any other show it probably would be, but Zoidberg's literal fish out of water behavior, the fact the world hates him for literally existing,
Yeah, save my friends! Ah! And Zoidberg!
and Billy West's delivery makes him a joy to watch. Also, yes, Zoidberg looks like a giant crab, but he's an alien. And FYI, his species dies after mating, so maybe him being a loser means he's somehow lucky. Fun fact, his species ate the anchovies into extinction.
Stop! I admit it. My people ate them all. We kept saying one more can't hurt, and then they were gone. We're sorry.
What? Thanks, man. Nobody likes them. I, for one, prefer onions on my pizza. I do like how him being an alien crab doesn't get ignored. Not only does it hurt his chances as a doctor, but it hurts his understanding of Earth culture. To put it one way, he's a poor stinking slob who lives in a trash can behind the building.
How do I put this delicately? I'm smellier than a whorehouse's outhouse.
This episode is all about his stink. Let's discuss. One afternoon, Zoidberg is getting ready to go on a date with his woman he's been messaging. Zindi, with a Z, not a C.
It won't be long, Johnny Cakes.
Okay, that pet name is so cute, even if it disgusts everybody else. On the way, he meets Marianne, a florist who works in front of Planet Express for this one episode due to plot reasons. Despite being a florist, Marianne was born without the ability to smell, so it's a Beethoven-type situation. Fun fact, Marianne is voiced by Emilia Clarke, aka the Mother of Dragons. Emilia does a pretty good job, but at times she feels a little phoned in.
Cry. I can't stand to see a living thing feel pain.
But this was her first voice acting role. Plus, Game of Thrones was filming around this time, so I wouldn't be surprised if she did have to do it over the phone. Her and Zoidberg hit it off. Like him, she's pretty poor. So poor she can't even afford refunds. Which, I have to ask, but who returns flowers?
I'd like to return these for a refund. Don't worry, they're unused.
On the date, Cindy gets absolutely disgusted by Zoidberg's musk and dumps him on the spot.
Can't see you anymore. Something's come up. It's vomit.
Aw, poor Johnny Cakes. Just to put another cherry on top of this disastrous day, Zoidberg and Cindy dated for 4 years.
Is the delightful creature I've been video dating for the past 4 years.
What a kick in the self-esteem. Zoidberg goes to talk to Marianne, only they get stopped by Roberto.
And no bag, please. I care about the environment.
Hey look, he came a long way.
You get it? I'm crazy!
Oh, you and me both. But Roberto is repulsed by Zoidberg's smell. Realizing Marianne's anosema, yes, I think it's called that, and their cutesy behavior make them quite the pair. Her and Zoidberg start to go steady. And also, Zoidberg is now crab cakes.
See you later, crab cakes.
For those of you who don't like Zoidberg, the episode isn't just about him. There's this subplot about Bender trying to win a tap dancing contest against some evil little kid with a heart defect named Tanya. Tanya ends up Nancy Kerriganing him.
Why? Why? What did I not do yet to deserve this?
Oh, that's why she's called Tanya. The plot is okay in a show with barely any subplots, but honestly, the episode could have done without it. It felt like it was in there because they didn't want the episode to only be about Zoidberg. Felt a little strange, to be honest. Usually when Futurama does subplots, they usually tend to relate to one another, or at worst, they come together at the end. This doesn't even do that. Literally, if you cut out Bender, Fry, and Leela, nothing would change. The subplot does have a couple funny moments, though.
Harder she dances, the more she bleeds.
Seems like a solid plan.
Oh, and Bender's as terrible a robot as ever.
I'm not even gonna wait to dance on your grave. I'm gonna dance on your corpse right now.
But back to crab cakes. Zoidberg learns from Farnsworth there's one way he can give Marianne to get the smell. A nose transplant. This puts Zoidberg into a catch-22. Either A, he keeps it a secret, but Marianne spends her whole life unhappy, or he does the surgery, and Marianne realizes he smells like a bloated zebra rotting in the hot African sun. Eventually, the guilt starts to get to him, and he confesses to Marianne he can perform the procedure if she wants. And you know she's not gonna say no.
Zoidberg, I want the biggest nose you can find.
Wait, she calls him Zoidberg? Zoidberg fears for his relationship, but the nose transplant goes down. Marianne wakes up in...
Ah, much better. You smell just like I dreamed you would.
Okay, I know you, me, and Zoidberg were expecting Marianne to leave him, but that doesn't happen. She does dump Zoidberg, but in a totally different way.
I've got a new job and, well, I'm going to have to dump you.
I'd like that.
I love they don't make them break up. Again, everybody was probably assuming they were gonna break up, or something was gonna get them to. Maybe Marianne's really a succubus. Maybe she's a robot who gains sentience. Maybe Zoidberg gets tired of her. Maybe she smells something wrong and dies. Altogether, this was a really nice diversion. Zoidberg of all people getting a girlfriend who likes him for him? That's great. I think this being the penultimate episode had something to do with it though. I have a feeling this was, say, season 3. They probably would have found a way to write off Marianne. Phew, that was Stench and Stenchibility. Yeah, that is really hard to pronounce. It's a great episode, especially for somebody who always gets the short end of the stick. It does have a problem here and there, and admittedly, it's not the best episode, but it's still pretty enjoyable. Once again, Futurama is amazing, and like Disenchantment, I have a few more videos planned for it. If you have anything you want me to talk about, comment down below. I might get to it at some point. I haven't watched every episode after all, and I still have to get to the movies. I'm just realizing I haven't done this for a while, but I'm Kitty Monk, and thank you for watching.